I accidentally clicked on the wrong one. Whip It Sunday.
Okay.
But welcome, everyone. This is our second Customizer Showcase series. With me is my co-host, Hulk Smash Customs.
And I would like to welcome tonight's guest, Sinestro's Mike Customs.
Happy to be aboard.
So how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing really good. By yourself. How you guys doing today?
Thank you for coming out to the green and hang out with us tonight. And
thanks for having me, man.
When Dom suggested this, Hulk Smash Customs suggested this, I thought it was a great idea. It's like we'll start doing a showcasing other customizers and get some word out, like help build the community of customizers out there.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
And which view you like, stacked or side by side? It's a little bit in screen close up.
Dealer's choice.
I think the three would probably work best.
Mm-hmm.
But showcase. First thing up, we wanted to showcase some of your artwork, some of your customers.
Sure.
Let me get those pulled up right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to
share screen.
Say anything you want about the customs. Give a little example.
Oh, yeah.
First up,
Go ahead.
First up, we got your awesome Deathstroke.
Thank you. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun to make, because the one before I made for my nephew, I made him a Deathstroke figure, and I'd made a bunch of them already. Excuse me, man. I made a bunch already of that character, because I've loved the character, and I kind of said, okay, this is my last one. I'm never gonna make one ever again. And we all know my word means absolutely nothing. So yeah. I just got this. That's actually one of those WWE Create a Superstar. There's actually Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about the helmet. That's one of those helmets.
Yes. I shaved off the mohawk, I guess you want to call it, or fin. And I filled it in, and I did some sculpting on the chest armor, and a little, little odds and ends. And the gun is from Spawn, if memory serves, but the sword is actually all custom scratch made.
Oh, nice!
Yeah,
you can get textured on the grip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like one of my things I like, because I didn't just want to grab a katana out of the Marvel Legends bin.
Oh, and they look so. Once you see a Marvel Legends katana, that's Marvel Legends katana.
It's like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, they're just kind of there's one, and that's all of them.
I love the bronze you use on it too. It looks good.
Thank you. That was it was Citadel, if memory serves. It's it's a Hachette copper, which kind of gives it more of a goldish bronze.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was thinking that it looked like more of a bronze than a copper.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Ooh, nice. Warduke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you got one before the official one.
No, I know I don't. I want it though. Oh no, I had the LGN one. Is that what you're asking?
Oh, is this your Warduke?
This is my Warduke.
Okay.
Yeah. So you did that before the official one came out.
Oh yeah, a couple of years. Well, that came out in 20.
The official one's not even out yet, is it?
No, it's like the pre-orders are out, but the figure I don't believe.
I'm gonna say it's like it looks so good. It's like you maybe second guess. Did I pull up a product?
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was like, I thought I messed up. It's like, hey, man, I put Warduke.
It's like, yeah, and I also made this giant build-a-figure Sentinel out of scratch parts. Yeah, you want to put that up there too? Go for it.
Oh, nice.
No, that was a lot of fun too. That was another one of those Create a Superstar Basham pieces that I really wish they would kind of bring that concept back, because it was a lot of fun. It helped. I like the concept of being so easy to mix and match parts.
Yeah.
And when I had found a few of them, I was like, you know what? I remember Warduke. That was my kindergarten or first grade Halloween costume. I had no idea who the heck he was. He just looked cool. I had the toy. I watched him on the cartoon, the one episode he was on.
Yeah, he's like the the only figures they made toys of weren't on the show except for like one episode or something.
Yeah. That whole series, like I was like, any of them on the show? I think, well, Warduke was kind of, I guess that look just kind of is just, so iconic. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, it was a cool looking character.
Thank you. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, those I do like you said. I miss those like build a superstar thing. They were such great sources for fodder.
Oh yeah,
they had those little packs, like gear packs, you can buy like for cheap.
Oh yeah, it was insane. Like you can get like they had a referee set, you had a cop set, a Roman gladiator set. Now the set was like $10 in stores. Now they're going for like 50 on eBay. So I'm like, all right, well, never mind then.
Yeah, those things were really cool though.
Mm-hmm.
They even had like one of them where you could get Archangel, like the not Archangel, the Angel, but what's his name?
Hawkman, yeah.
Hawkman.
Yes,
Hawkman wings with a harness that were not connected. They were just on a harness you'd actually put on.
Yeah.
You could actually put like the wings on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? They really helped out customizers with those things, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. Nice.
Here's a very personal one. I don't know. I'll let you tell the story, Dom.
Well, that's a collaboration of me, and that's the two of us there.
Oh, nice.
As tag team wrestlers, as professional wrestlers, that's us. We're the Black Hand.
Is it skill accurate?
Pretty much.
Probably. I'm 5'8". I know Dom's taller than I am, so.
I'm about 6'2", so.
So yeah, the scale's a little pretty close.
No, we just said one day, like whatever, we used to joke around about that and say. What happened was Al made the two of him and I made the two of myself, and we just sent each other the one of our, one each. So he sent me him, I sent myself to him, and it was okay, cool.
It's like,
now we got a team.
That sound out of context. It sounds so weird.
I know.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like I sent him one, I sent him the other. It's like, okay.
I sent him me, and he sent him to me.
It's like, okay, sure.
Oh, cool. I can do that. I got instead of pulling up in a Google Drive, I actually got it on using RFN View.
Mm-hmm.
Great, like image software for free open source image software, like editing and doing model edits and stuff for pictures.
Those belts were custom made.
Yes, they're actually. I'm gonna tell this story because if all of you don't know out there, you are looking at the greatest tag team of all time, the 17-time WCCW FOA North American Tag Team Champions, the longest reigning, defending 12-year plus Tag Team World Champions.
Actually, those belts, if you look closely, it's got the Canada flag on one side for myself with my see the name I got on the abdomen there, and on the other side is the U.S. flag with ice tape. And they were actually made by a friend that Al met on the wrestling site, William Jaramillo. He makes all these different custom belts.
Cool. It's like real thin leather too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a faux leather.
Or is it faux leather or real leather?
I think it's faux, right?
Yeah, he does a lot of.
Oh, hello.
I'm sorry, hold on. God dang it. Okay, am I back?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. People are texting me, hey, I can't watch the show. Okay, I'm in the show right now. I sent you the link. But no, he actually does like cut vinyl or faux leather belts. He does amazing work. His name's Bad Billy J Belts, and the guy just does awesome. He's been my go-to guy for years.
Buddy of mine, he does vinyl signs and shirts and stuff. I was incorporating some of his stuff in, like with my Prime Customs. I was able to get the logos and stuff cut and pressed onto the capes, which just having that just like kicks the capes up a notch and stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I can do
a lot of guys make Batman capes out of that.
I'm a graphic designer and a web developer, and so I can create about any kind of symbol and logo on one now, Illustrator, and so I help him out quite a bit with like signage and stuff. He needs stuff like images and pictures converted over to vector, and I help him out with that. So he hooks me up with some vinyl graphic stuff. Okay, let's see. We got Fort Duke. We got The Godfather.
This was actually a I don't want to say Christmas gift, maybe. Yeah, to a certain co-host of yours. Well, one thing you should know about Dom and I, we're both Italian. We both love The Godfather. So obviously we're gonna be great friends. So we kind of that's already there. And I was like, he had mentioned something about it, and I was like, I'm gonna look at this. This is gonna be fun.
He made an offer you couldn't refuse.
I made an offer he couldn't refuse.
I'm not even gonna try to do the Italian accent because I'm gonna butcher it. Because I'm from the southern region of the United States, so.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Maestro.
Yeah, that was a fun one. There was a I'm trying to remember the site that. Do you remember the group that wasn't Toy Soup? That was something else. Yeah.
I saw this in Toy Soup, but I don't know if that's where it happened.
Yeah, maybe it was Toy Soup because there was a like a challenge that a particular customizer would say, "Hey, I'm going to make this one. You make the same character," and it was just like, okay. And it was actually Fast Freddy Fuller had messaged me on the site, and I was like, okay, I'm down. And I'm like, well, I don't know too much about the Maestro. I don't know too much about Fast Freddy. And that was that little contest between he and I. That was a beating I'll never forget. It's like, okay, it's like best way to put it. It's like, okay, I'm just starting out in boxing. I'm gonna go get in a fight with Mike Tyson. Best way to explain it.
Yeah.
But no, this was a lot of fun. I kind of wish that I had done better lighting on it to make the details show, because there was a lot of sculpted work put in. I did the freckles on, or the whatever you want to call it, on his chest, the warts,
liver spots.
The spots. I did that. I did the hand wraps. I did all the hair. This was actually, the base was actually the End Hulk.
Yeah.
From that wave. That was that late 2000 wave. And the concept I did on the shins was that he took Iron Man's armor and kind of bent it into shin guards. So that's where you can kind of see the red and the gold.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and like for some odd reason, I put a spike in there like Wolverine. You can't see it on the back because I have it up there, but I'm definitely afraid to move anything because of the chain reaction.
When you said those are like Iron Man armors, he just forced his legs into, like made me think like an animated series I really liked called Megas XLR. They had like a Power Rangers crossover spoof. The power up the Megas power his big mech. He ends up just shoving his arms and legs into the Zoids. And
Nice.
Totally wrecks them, but he powers himself up.
Nice. Yeah, that was a fun one to make, and it's funny because on the cape was just a purple cape. On the back, I actually have one of those smaller Captain America shields, and I used the Doctor Doom mask as like an elbow pad.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of. I wish one of these days I'm going to take better pictures of this one. I just gave him a sash with some purple highlights and just went, okay, here you go.
You can get you one of those like a turnstile, like
motorized turntable, Lazy Susan, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, those are really nice to get a full 360 on stuff. They form great too on Instagram. We put those on like those reels.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see them all the time. A lot of guys are using those, and it's like, I gotta get in on that.
Awesome work, funds.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's.
Hey, Cliff. Thanks, brother. Fellow Freebird there. So.
Okay. Ooh, Brainiac.
Yeah. This was actually just really. Just done from 2 figures. It was the I'm assuming I'm trying to remember if it was NECA at the time was doing real toys, or if it was it might have been McFarlane. One of the no it was NECA, the Pinhead, and I just had
I was going to say I was going to guess Pinhead for the body.
Yeah, and I just added the sculpted the details, and just did a lot of dry brushing. I've always felt that that's nothing new to anyone, but the dry brush can just take something so bland and just make it really pop. It's just insane.
Absolutely, it's one of the best little techniques you can do just to make everything just pop. Like highlight all the details, sculpt the details, especially if you've got something that's got beautifully textured too, and there's no paint.
Yeah,
it's just hidden in the solid color.
Look at Johan's Cenobite Brainiac.
I got it there. That was actually that version. I was really, really inspired because the Superman Brainiac comic had just came out.
Mm-hmm.
When he kind of looks like he's built into his ship and he has like all the parts coming out of him. It's like his shell, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool. And I just got this, at that time in 2010, 2013, my brain was just going so many weird different places with everything.
DC was doing some really good stories at that time frame.
Yeah.
Right before Doofy 2, it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
I got the direct figure of that Brainiac.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a really subtle. It's very plain, but like I said, all white coat, kind of all white lab coat. That could have definitely done maybe like a dark gray with a white dry brush for detail. But DC Direct at that time was always you never really wanted. They were always their own kind of own entity. And it was more like we don't need to have all the crazy super detail. Here it is. This looks just like the figure from that comic book. Yes, it does.
Yeah, they were beautiful, basically stactions.
Yes, they were.
So anytime I saw them on sale, I would buy a DC Direct and just yank the heads off for customs.
Oh yeah, and a lot of the bodies were very. A lot of the bodies were definitely very versatile.
Infinite Crisis? That Power Girl is like one of the best looking Power Girls they ever made.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a great figure.
Ooh, I want one of these for my collection.
Yeah, Brother Worth. Yes. This actually won like Custom of the Month on the website, the Douche. I don't know if you remember that. It was like a Whoosh knockoff, and I was like, "All right." It was like April of 2011 or something.
So I miss when the Whoosh used to showcase customizers.
Yep.
I was showcased a few times on there, and
oh wow.
Then they just basically quit pushing customizers.
Yeah, it kind of fell off there, man.
Yeah, and nobody participates in their customizing forums either. People post their work, but nobody ever comments.
Yeah, that kind of happened a lot with like Figure Realm, and it just I left Figure Realm years ago.
Yeah, I still post on Figure Realm every now and then, but you don't get the participation like you used to. You get like 30 some comments on each post, and now you're lucky you get 5 or 6.
You know what I find Figure Realm has become? It's one of those sites where people go to see what they should make with a certain figure. Like they'll put up like a figure they have, and it'll pop up like.
You can put the base figure in and see what people's made out of it.
Exactly, or to see.
I've done that.
Well, yeah, but you participate though.
Guilty as charged back in the day,
Oh yeah.
It's like, ooh, I got the such and such figure. Let's see what people's made out of it.
Yeah, because they have that listing, or I don't know if they still do. I haven't been on there in so long. They would have the listing of what do you call it, for like the base figure, and okay, we'll type in base figure, and there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to do. That was actually I'm trying to remember the line. It used to be before Mythic Legions. The Four Horsemen had.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Phil.
Was like Forgotten Realms,
anthropomorphic warriors.
Yeah. And there was like an elephant. I don't remember the name of it. The friend of mine gave it to me to work on. He's like, "Make me a Brother Worth out of this." I was like, "Okay," and I did.
that I would love to see McFarlane make one of these because it'd be what I would hope it'd be big.
It would probably be a deluxe figure for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, and he's not that big of a guy, but I think it would definitely he would have to be. So just sheer scale, and if anybody could do it, definitely McFarlane would do it, and it wouldn't cost us a $400 Kickstarter.
No, it would be like a $50 figure in Canada. So
he seems to be, with the reveals of New York Comic Con, he seems to be going to start making more than just Batman.
Yeah,
he's doing the Reign of Superman.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the modern, like I think the animated series Reign of Superman, where the Eradicator's like, it's the new version of the key DC character. So it's the Eradicator. His face and body is all black with the yellow visor.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that version.
That's more modern rendition of Eradicator. I bet there'll be a gold series where it's painted like the Reign of Superman, though.
Yeah.
One of my favorite head sculpts. It's a Gary Frank inspired sculpt.
Yes.
And he always would draw Superman like Christopher Reeves.
He draws everyone like, and if you read it's kind of creepy. If you read the book, he draws everyone like Christopher Reeve. It's kind of freaky, but like a couple, I'm like, I see you nod your head, like, yeah, he does. No, that was from the new Krypton series, and it was just almost like it just came together. I had the I can't remember the character. Oh my god, I feel terrible. I'm blanking right now. The other Kryptonian, not Lord Zod. No, not Lord
Monel.
Zod.
Monel.
Who? I'm sorry.
Monel.
Yes, Monel. Thank you.
Monel was a Dexmite.
Yeah.
Cousin of the cousin species of the Kryptonians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the same powers, but the much bigger weakness.
Yeah, I'm allergic to lead. It's like, okay. We're allergic. It's like that just kills them. So that was a little trippy.
Their whole planet has no lead whatsoever. So
yeah, they're also xenophobes, but that's beside the point. So yeah. But no, that head sculpt. As soon as I saw it,
probably good.
Like,
You have a planet full of like Superman level characters. Like, might want to have them stay on their planet.
Yeah, there's so many of them out there too. It's like, we don't need the whole kit and caboodle.
Superman's only a good guy because of Ma and Pa Kent.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Without feeling, Kryptonians were cold and motionless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's been so many Elseworld stories too about that, where, it's like, you take the Earth 2 version. They did kind of a revamped version of the crime syndicate where he was actually raised by like meth dealers or something. Yeah, it's like okay. That
you know
sense.
what? If he was raised by pretty much anybody else, he wouldn't have been as good as he was. You know what I mean? Like,
no, 100%.
That's what I didn't like about the Man of Steel movie, that they didn't get that. The mom and Pa Kent from the Man of Steel movie, they weren't good people.
Yeah.
It's like when Jonathan Kent tells should I let them, like when he saves that bus full of kids, should I let them die? He said, maybe. Yeah. It's like, Jonathan Kent would never say anything like that.
No. He's like, you have I didn't want to, I always love the line in the 78 Superman, you are here for a reason. I know it kind of harkens back. It really plays off with great power comes great responsibility trope, but it was definitely the perfect, definitely the better version of it. My biggest takeaway from Man of Steel was that as soon as I saw it, I knew that Jonathan Kent was like, you have to be secret. You can't be letting people know who you are. Oh, by the way, I found this piece of metal. I took it to some professor. It doesn't exist on this earth. It's like, okay, great. We just gave it away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they got the guy's address. They're gonna figure out where the ship is.
Well, it was probably his buddy, though. That's the thing.
I'm hoping. Hope so.
It's like, Gary Frank. It's like at the story, like in the rebooted universe for like Supreme Power, where basically like Hyperion was like basically a Clark Kent. When the family found him, immediately the government swarmed in and took the child.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to track stuff coming from space.
Yeah,
a modern era like now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that might something called radar and just satellite and everything. I was like, yeah, we're gonna find this guy.
Oh, and destroying the truck drivers over beer wasn't a great characterization either. Yeah, I agree. If you're trying to hide that you're a super being on the planet, don't do something that where only a super being could have done.
He knew he was going to leave. He's like, they'll never find me.
But you made it. He could have just smashed the truck, but he
Yeah, put
the logs. It's like there's no freak storm that could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just ripped the engine block out or something other and
flash the tires or something.
Yeah, heat vision the tires and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what fun would that have been?
True. It shows he can be petty at times. Well, think about it. It's like, if you watch it doesn't make a lot of sense in the Richard Donner cut, but when you really think about it, at the end of Superman 2, why did he go beat up that truck driver? Another truck driver he has a problem with.
That's true too, right?
It's like really, bro? This, of course. But go ahead.
The most he didn't really do too much to the truck driver. When he went back, the truck driver did most of the damage himself trying to hit the vulnerable person.
I love that movie. I love all those. The Donner cut especially of Superman 2. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
That would be a great set for Todd to make. The Superman 2 figures have a Zod and what was those two other Kryptonians' names?
Ursa and Non.
Ursa.
Yeah.
And what was
Non.
Non. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, have those three and a Christopher Reeve Superman. That would be a fantastic set. It'll give us a lowest.
Go all out. I mean, go all out. Do Jarrell. Do everybody.
Yeah.
Because I'd buy the set. I guarantee that.
They're doing the Nolan Dark Knight figures, so why not do other movies?
Why not? You're pretty getting in there, so you might as well just milk it for while you can.
Hulk's going to show me a Instagram post. He's going to be doing the '89 Batwing.
Yeah.
Like in the 6-inch scale, or for the
for his 7-inch scale, going to do the Batwing.
Oh wow, that's 7-inch scale. I'm sorry. That's
7-inch scale.
Well,
yeah.
The figure is 7 inches.
They're 7-inch figures that don't mean they're in scale. So it's just
that was that big thing about that.
Like the Avatar figures, they call them the 7-inch scale. The Avatar characters are 7-inch, and everything is scaled around them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like a 3 3/4-inch scale line.
Yeah,
that's the way to look at it. Yeah, like those new mechs they got coming out for the Avatar movie. It's like, what? I just had this horrible. I just had this gut feeling. Oh my god, this is gonna be huge. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm like, it is. Oh, it's for that scale. Who cares? I'm still gonna buy it.
Oh, it does have a kind of like a way they did Soldier Boy and the Boys. Feel
yeah.
And kind of like a Punisher, like when they did the Ultimates Punisher Cap.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel? I don't know if this is like a cool band. What was the inspiration of this one?
This one, a lot of, don't want to go in too deep into it, but at this time I was kind of going through a lot of stuff, and I was real depressed. And one day I didn't even like to work on anything. I didn't want to do anything. And so one day I just woke up at dawn and had inspiration to make this one. And I pretty much worked on it all day, from prep to sculpting to painting, everything all day. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of a idea of a dark Captain America. Like basically the idea was,
okay.
Yeah. Like if he came back to life and he's like, okay, all you guys screwed me over.
You know what?
Shattered glass. The Transformers have the alternate universe with the evil.
Yeah, the shattered
Autobots
glass
are evil and the Decepticons are good guys. It's like a shattered glass Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could also. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, let everyone know, the viewers, that one thing I've always said about you as a customizer,
hi,
is that customizers do characters that you expect to see, like Superman or Batman or Hulk or Thor. You know what I'm trying to say? But one thing about this guy's customs is my next example is right there. He's always done customs that are one-offs, one of a kind, something from his mind. He just, you know what I mean? He's always, that's the type of customizer. He goes for the out of the he looks outside of the box. not of the norm, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So that's just my input on you, because I've known you for that many years, right?
Yeah, we go back 2010, 2011. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a very cool looking gin.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Jafar.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that
I
was
recognize
one.
the Savage Dragon, like legendary comic book hero's torso and body.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's the dead giveaway right there.
Hey,
Yeah,
Nico.
a lot of fun.
Hey, Nico.
That sold really well. Hey, what's up, man?
I love your paintwork on that. It looks great.
Thank you. That was that was all that at the time, up until a few years ago, I was using nothing but Citadel, because the comic shop that I would go to, the owner was actually a customizer for a while, and he kind of, talked to me about. We would just sit there and BS about comics and action figure custom. I'm like, oh, let me try my hand at this, and years later, it's still his fault. But he would do paint miniatures. Not a lot of guys would buy the paints, so he was kind of iffy about buying more. So he ended up selling me a bunch of paints for a really good deal, and I was like, okay. And I just these are the old school, blacktop Games Workshop stuff. So we're kind of I'm dating myself here. And that was a DC Universe Classics Despero head.
Okay, I was trying to figure out that head. It's like,
yeah, I shaved off the it was Despero, and I shaved off the fin mohawk, and I added the ponytail. Yeah, I wish I still had this one. This was hard to let go, but
I understand. It's like the first Final Form Prime that I sold. Like, I just did not want to let that go.
Yeah,
because
there's some that I'll never sell, no matter what the number is. Because I'm sure you guys can attest to this, and everyone out there is certain ones you make. Okay, I'll sell this, but there's a time and a place when you make it, and there's just so much of you involved that I can't let it go.
If you make 1 or 2 in the mindset that you want to sell it, it's a lot easier. Even though it could be a beautiful piece, it's a lot easier once your mindset is this is made to be sold.
Yeah.
If you're making something for your personal collection, and it is hard to let go.
It is, yeah.
It's like a Conan the Barbarian, or
it's Cole, which is a Conan character, but yes.
Oh yeah. I remember they made that Kevin Sorbo movie. It's like, I don't know if it was not a very good casting for Cole.
No, they couldn't have grabbed anybody else. Oh well, he was still riding high off of
his peak when he was doing Hercules, maybe, but that's when he was getting not as ripped too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was a. Well, that's the thing about a lot of the Robert E. Howard characters. They're strong, but they're not gigantic, meatheads. Yeah. Like you'll see, a lot of them, a lot of the Frank Frazetta stuff that they'll do for either Cole or Conan. You'll see. I mean, they're buff, but they're not, Arnold Schwarzenegger buff.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of the wrestling figures I use, that's the body they go with. So it's kind of, I'm just gonna go with it. So that was really fun.
Wrestling, the elite figures are still to this day good basis for customs, because you can get them on eBay used cheap.
Oh
you can find them on clearance a lot of times too.
I bought some dirt cheap.
I'm surprised how cheap people sell them for on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them for under $10, and
a lot of them you'll see they just want the accessories and they don't care about the character, or I've seen lots of just the bodies, and I mean that's all they have, the full everything with them, just no head. I'm like, okay, all right, well you're a little in the red here, especially for those things as much as they cost, around $20, but still.
Yeah, and they're still keeping these. The elites are still $20 to $21.99, somewhere around that range. They fluctuate in between
waves. Yeah, in between waves, you'll see some. I'll go to the same store. They'll have one for $20, the other one for $25. I'm like, there's no difference in these two.
And you got the Ultimates now. Their premium one. It's like they got the diaphragm joints and the butterfly joints, toe joints. So. Those are
what do you guys prefer?
$30 to $32.
Then your average around $30, $32. I picked up a Ric Flair, obviously.
Woo!
for about 35. Woo! Because I was like, I don't care what it costs. I go, oh, it's gonna be with tax. Like, I don't give a crap what it costs. I want it. Send me 2 of them. And and I got that up in my Ric Flair shelf because those who know me, I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. That's like, yeah, real big surprise there, guys. But what is honest question for everyone out there? What do you guys like? Do you prefer the ab crunch or do you prefer the chest rotation, like how the Ultimates and AEWs do it?
With me, I'm digging the diaphragms that they're done right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as there's not too. What I don't like about certain ones, especially like maybe like a McFarlane one, if you have to like do a certain pose, it just offsets the 2 pieces. It looks kind of weird.
Yeah, if they're done weird and you angle the waist twist, the diaphragm twist, it's weird. It can look unsightly.
Yeah. Same. But also same thing. Like
it works best if you have conjunction. Get rid of the way they're doing with G.I. Joe Classified. They're getting away from the classic waist twist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're doing that round at the bottom of the ab section.
Yeah.
That's so much better.
Where it pivots there plus twist there, it's rounded. So when you twist it, it doesn't break the sculpt as bad.
Mm-hmm. And most Black Series are like that too, which I like.
Yeah.
It's especially like the bigger characters too, like that last Prime I made. I ended up just eliminating the waist twist because it's so ugly when you use it. It's completely breaks the sculpt.
Yeah.
When you twist it to the side, it's just this big flat edge.
Yeah.
On the
doesn't
body
really flow as well. One thing Hasbro's doing right.
I wish they would implement that more in like with Marvel Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or at all.
Just do something with Marvel Legends.
Yeah. They got the new reverse ab crunch in the diaphragm joint, but man, Hulk Smash was talking about like with the Daredevil in the 3-pack. On Spider-Man, they got that diaphragm cut and the reverse ab crunch.
Yeah.
When it's with Spider-Man, you got the blue breaking up those seam lines. It looks fine, but when you did it solid right on Daredevil, it looks weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a odd choice for that one.
The paint job can hide your articulation scheme sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the solid black suit, it didn't look that bad, but certain colors like that deep red Daredevil, something about it was like making that protrusion for the diaphragm cut look weird.
Yeah.
Couldn't have guessed over
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Is this who's this character? The Shadow or no? That's Green.
It's the Green Hornet.
Oh, the Green Hornet.
Yes. Another favorite character of mine, and I'm actually working on a modern version. That's actually the figure is done. I'm working on the motorcycle. But I've always loved the Lone Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere the Dynamite or Boom or Dynamite series really, really, really wanted you to remember that the Lone Ranger is a ancestor of the Green Hornet.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that at all.
Yeah, the Britt Reed. Like if you watch the old '60s one, it would have probably been his great uncle or however that. I've asked many people and I get different terminologies. Great grand uncle or great uncle, one of those. So it was kind of a interesting idea I have. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make a Western Green Hornet. Like it's kind of like a
amalgamation of the two characters. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get the Samuel Dahane.
Yes. That one was you're probably going to see the next one pretty soon. But that was done as kind of like a 2-pack gift set for a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of Dom's, Sam Hain.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. He's up there with Crom now. And it was just kind of because we'd always talked, and I've made a lot of stuff that I had given to Dom, and Dom's made a lot of stuff for me, and so on and so forth. You know, our group was always, you know, making stuff and sending it out. You know, it wasn't for sale. It was just, I'm gonna make this for you as a personal gift. And I got this idea. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for Sam. I want to make him something.
Well, Sam's nickname was Sam Hain Customs.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is like a medieval Sam Hell Duhane.
Yeah. He's like the dark. He's like a black knight. He's the skull taker, as I call him.
Well, I see the skull on the chest now.
Yeah. I was like, why not?
And there's the other part of it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the alternate version of it, where he's more of a heroic knight.
Okay. So the
evil
version.
Yeah, and those were both they were done from it's bringing back painful memories, because these were made from my final purchase from Toys R Us.
We got Freddy at the house.
Look who's in
What's
the house.
up? What it is?
Ready?
What's up, Unc?
So these are your last of your Toys R Us purchases, like
Yeah. I bought these two. They were $3 down from $20, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, I've already bought this base figure. It's the Jaime Lannister. I've bought this figure several times, and I've already used him a bunch. I go, well, why not? Going good, Freddie. Going good. How about yourself? I hope everything's going good today.
We got to get you in here, Freddie.
Yes.
Yep. Sinestro Corp. I think about customizers our generation. I think we've all made a Sinestro Corp Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
Yes. This is actually the funny one. I was like, oh, I don't want to show, because actually I just finished the modern version of this figure that I've been planning to do for the past 5 years. This is technically my first custom that I ever made.
Sweet.
Yeah, this was all, and this is Dom knows this story, but this was actually when I was just starting. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't understand taking apart figures and how it was supposed to be done right. So I was like, oh, boil the plastic or use a hairdryer or heat gun to soften the plastic.
Oh,
I was like, okay.
It was definitely a learn by fire method back when we started.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There was no resources out there to go by, and
no,
I've tore up a lot of figures over the years.
Oh God. The head is it's still in my collection. The head is held on with
those
sticky tape.
Clear barbell joints on those early DC Direct.
Oh yeah.
Just right in half. Yep.
All the pins.
I drilled the arms and everything.
The pins, the ball joints, everything's clear plastic.
Yeah.
Snap.
It's like,
easy.
oh crap, that wasn't supposed to happen, was it?
So easy. They
I got my first one right here. That's my first custom I made.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was talking to Hulk Smash last week or sometime. He saw had the camera going, and he asked me, like, what's that Cyclops in there? Oh, that's my first custom I ever made. I just got it on the desk.
Nice. Yeah, the first, this is like my technically actually doing like, sculpting and whatnot. But I do remember as a kid, my first custom I ever made, like officially, not making it a custom, but I know Freddie is going to remember this movie, but who remembers that movie from the 80s, early to mid 80s, The Eliminators?
The Eliminators. That sounds familiar.
It was like that. A scientist, a ninja, a pirate, and a cyborg are fighting this evil mad scientist. You laugh, dude. It's amazing. I'll send you the link. I love that movie.
Buddy, that's right up your alley.
Sounds in line of Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, it was, but it was more. It actually predated RoboCop. That's kind of how I didn't know what a cyborg was, and I was like, this is cool. And he actually has very similar to was it Bonebreaker, that little tank body he carries. He had something very similar to it. And I was like, well, in 1984, yeah, I know you did, Freddie. So we're going with this one. In 1984, you didn't have this kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, you couldn't just, figure this stuff out. So I took a mainframe G.I. Joe figure, put black tape over his face to make him look like he has a cybernetic eye. I took the one of the Empire Strikes Back mini rigs and just plopped him in there. That was his wheels. I was like, I am a genius. This is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah.
An Arquillo.
Yeah. Yeah, this was another fun one. I used I'm trying to remember which Hulk I used.
Or Hulk. Or Planet Hulk.
I believe it was Planet Hulk, because actually I sent Freddie all the stuff.
Yeah, War Hulk's got that push button on the back to make the arms go.
Okay, yeah. So no, then it was yeah.
That
was the
was
other one.
Hasbro's Wave 1 came with the gladiator shield and the helmet.
Well, I bet it is on Tubi.
Oh, it's got it. Everything's on Tubi.
Yeah, you can watch all tons of classic shows and cartoons and stuff in like great quality on Tubi.
Yeah, it's really good. It's what I hate about Tubi is that one day it'll be on, the next day it'll be off because the streaming rights are over. And I'm like, I'll see something on Tubi, add it to my list, I'll watch it later. I come back, crap. So
yeah, the War Hulk, that was their go-to big body for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was such a great sculpt. And it just came together all so well. So yeah, that's actually the DC Direct head.
Their big 12-inch one they did that was the Icons line.
Yeah.
It's just an upscaled version of this body.
exactly.
Yeah. Same thing with like Venom and those new ones that came out too.
I got a bunch of Planet Hulk figures still in the package.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that head looks familiar.
Yes, yes.
Electro body, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Electro body. That is Paul Muad'Dib from Dune.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just my own version of it. Just having fun. Just jerking around. Just playing around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Winter Soldier head that Dom sent me, and it was probably a 3-week conversation. Do you really need it, or do you really want it? Yeah, I'll take it. You sure, Don? Are you sure you don't need it? No, I don't need it at all. Are you sure you don't need it? I don't need it. Okay, I'll send it. And
these are great from the knees down too. The upgrade like Bucky caps, give them like different type of legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't understand why when they don't use the Bucky cap thighs and stuff when they use these legs, like when they did Blade.
Yeah,
they use the Electro upper legs. It's got those little circuit things.
I know, it's so stupid.
Sculpted onto it, and it's like, why not swap the legs?
the same thing. What was the one? Crap! My memory is going out. The Scourge, that one, with the gas mask. He had the same thing. It was like, wait, why are you putting this body on him? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you can swap those thighs out. Just use the knees down.
Yeah, you have all these parts. Why are you reusing the same ones?
Is this your upgraded one?
Yeah, that's strictly DC Universe Classics Superboy Prime. That it was just a simple repaint. I used this first time I got to use Army Painter for the blue. I really like it, and I used a DC Universe Classic Superman head and just popped it right on.
That body is so a Superman body. It's like it's not meant for Superboy. It's too big.
No.
Oh, it's way too big. And that was when I saw it. I was like, this is and even the head that it came with looks really weird. I'm like, I'll never use this.
What's funny, that head looks terrible on this body. But if you got the Connor Kent from the Signature Series, you pop that head on the Connor Kent.
It plays it off.
It looks decent on that. It looks decent on that body because Connor Kent comes with a lurch head.
Yeah.
The Connor Kent's head is awful. There's nothing to do for that one to be Connor. But if you take the head from this Superboy Prime and put it on the Connor, it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But he's tall. It's like those last few of the DC this line, those figures, the Red Robin and the Superboy were big figures. They were not Tim Drake or.
No.
I use it as a Jason Todd Red Robin.
There you go.
Very cool.
Thank you.
That's a good head sculpt too. Like when the DC superheroes hit Superman.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really miss about that line, because they had such great sculpts, they had such great look. Some of the articulation left a lot to be desired, but almost this isn't meant to be taken out of the package, kids. So
they got this nice superhero proportions though, and everything's looks good. They're some of the best vanilla pose figures out there.
That's right. Yeah, they look so uniform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole line.
The biggest issue they had was body choices. They picked the too small or too big a body for a character.
Well, Nightwing. Nightwing's on the biggest body they had.
Yeah.
So, let's see. And that Planet Hulk or War Hulk. That was with the
Kilowog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Kilowog.
Archilo. Ooh, yeah.
That's a lot of detail.
Thank you. That was my quarantine custom I made when my wife had COVID. She's fine now, thankfully. It was like, okay, well, you're gonna stay in that room. I gotta find something to do.
That's a lot of sculpt.
That was a lot of fun. That all started as DJ from the Black Series.
Okay.
What's his name? Benicio del Toro.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, and I got him. I was like, what am I gonna do with him? And I was like, all right. I saw him on eBay, and I was looking at Black Series figures, on the cheap, and he popped up for like $5, and I was like, wow, okay. And I got him. It was a lot of fun. The jacket, of course, is from the Nick Fury, or every other Marvel Legend trench coat figure.
Yeah,
the most universal. Everybody shops at the same jacket store.
Yeah. Like, does nobody have any difference? But
Phantom X, Nick Fury,
Gambit,
Punisher.
Red Skull had it, I think.
Yep.
Red
Skull. Yeah. Just about any character that has a coat had this coat.
Yeah.
Gambit.
It's a rough. It's a thick plastic too. It doesn't really flex as well.
You can't do anything.
It was designed back in what they call the dark days of Marvel Legends.
Yes, when they go, oh, we can do this by yourselves.
That's what we were talking about, like the sculpts on the DC Universe Classics. The Four Horsemen sculpts are so nice. It's like with the new Masterverse stuff. The He-Man, the Four Horsemen are not involved in this. You can tell because these are uglier than crap. The creatures and cyborgs and stuff, they're okay, but the regular humanoids, ugly.
The proportions they're really trying to. Mattel just can't get away from that the body. They want to go off of it with that, especially like
since it's a multiverse line, they just need to scrap that one body and just go start over.
Yeah, I agree. It's a straight universal body. Most of them I really like. Thank you, Cliff. This was a fun one to make. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a lot of challenging. There we go.
Whoa, what are these?
I'll let Dom explain.
That's
I'll excuse myself for just a sec.
You remember Haku from WWF back in the day?
Yeah.
That's the one on the right with the short hair is his actual son. And the other one is his nephew who he adopted as his son. And they're over in New Japan Wrestling. They're called the Gorilla GOD, Gorillas of Destiny. That was they had this Bullet Club. They were part of Bullet Club, not anymore. But hey, Darth,
welcome, Darth. Bullet Club.
Yeah. Well, Bullet Club is basically like the NWO all over again. Like they have their that Too Sweet symbol and all that. So, but now they've also broken up into different factions and So
for life.
Yeah. So this is So This was another. He's wearing one of the Bullet Club shirts there.
Yes. We're in Villain Enterprises. One of my favorite members of Bullet Club was Marty Skrull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the NW4 Life.
Now I'm four horsemen, baby.
Yep.
I was so disappointed when Mr. Perfect showed up and they didn't have him stay a horseman. It's like, oh man, he did great as a horseman.
He should have stayed. That was that. Oh no! But yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible booking.
Got a Killer Croc.
Yeah, that was another four horseman figure. That was fun.
Yeah, all the detailed sculpt on their designs. This is before they start really adding the articulation on their figures. The sculpt is there.
Oh yeah, this was the Killer Croc that a friend of mine gave me. He goes, "Here, I don't want this." I was like, "Okay, I'll take it. Well, you don't have to ask me twice."
Ah,
woo!
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Boom, 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 boom.
Styling and profiling.
Limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing.
The showman is in the house.
The suit looks really cool. I like that burgundy and that gold together.
Thank you. Yeah, that was from a another Build-A-Figure. It was the Paul Ellering figure. That's the Ultimate's the other ultimate head, I should say.
And the color scheme is just so flair.
Mm-hmm.
16 time.
Yeah. Fact be known is 21 times, but that's beside the point. So the rest of the world says it's 16. But actually, if you can go back just one, please.
Yeah.
That's another belt that was made for me by Bad Billy. That's kind of an alternate version of the Big Gold.
Yeah.
It's the original sketch version. Originally, it was supposed to have the NWA logo on it, and it went to they gave the design, and the designer went to the NWA and said, "Okay, here it is. I can make this for you, no problem. Well, how much is it going to cost?" And he gave him the price, and the guy didn't like, "Nope, not doing it." So then David Crockett got it and had it made, but had it from Dave Crumrine, who was a belt buckle maker. A lot of good stuff there.
There's Bad Billy right there.
Yeah, nice belt.
That's me.
Yeah, so he had the NWA logo removed, which was kind of foreshadowing that they weren't going to be part of the NWA for too much longer. But I saw that one and I was like, can you make me this one? And Billy's like, yes, I can. And I also owe him a thanks too, because he convinced me to put the Rolex on him.
Yeah. You had to put the Rolex.
Yeah.
I knew I had the watch. I was too lazy to look for it. So, but then I go, fine.
It's a Nightwing variant.
Yes. That's a one I did. A lot of these are from when I was first getting into it. I've been around, but a lot of these are ones I just like the most. So kind of, shows what I've done and how long I've been doing this. Because I love doing this. And even when it's frustrating, I can never stop.
This with the weird helmet guy body, like the jacket and the arms.
Yeah, that's actually the arms and the jacket are from Zorn. Yeah, that one.
Yep, Zorn.
Yeah, a lot of folks used him for Red Hood, which I did.
The chain wrap chest is the only thing you had to swap out the torso. And
yeah.
I would just sand it down and sculpt over it. It just made it a lot much easier. And the torso is actually one of the Toy Biz TNA wrestlers, Alex Shelley.
Okay.
Yeah, and the blue lines were just so easy to add in.
Which is kind of like a nice little nod too. It's like people that don't know, like when Toy Biz first started Marvel Legends, a lot of the base figures were recycled wrestling figures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was basically a wrestling figure with a rubber overlay over his chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You take that chest apart, it's a wrestling figure.
Yeah. And there was because Toy Biz had been making wrestling figures for years. They made all the WCW ones, and then they gradually just started trying to do more superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Or back to superhero stuff, I should say.
Well, and the whole coining the entire whole action figure terminology is from Toy Biz.
Yeah.
For taxation purposes, import tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, if you try to do it like they would classify them as a DAW, and they had a higher tax rate to import DAWs,
Mm-hmm.
so they created the action figure classification to get a cheaper import rate.
That makes perfect sense.
Which is like one of the things, like some of the I call them like toy drama channels, and they like want to harp about like a NECA that classifies their stuff as disposable goods.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because of that. They can probably import them cheaper when they do that.
Yeah. It's like retro blasting always just goes off on
that very thing, and it's very intellectually and dishonest too, because I'm sure they know it's a import tax issue.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah, I mean there really is no other way to say it. They're treating it as non-sustainable goods. It's like they're basically saying, hey, you have an action figure that's going to break tomorrow. Just want you to know.
Yeah.
Which I'm afraid to take half of my NECA stuff out of the package. I still have.
They've made vast improvements though since the
Yes.
Starting with basically Defenders, the Earth line. They start really listening to fan input.
Mm-hmm.
They quit painting joints, painting the mushroom pegs.
Yeah,
That first wave of Defenders of Earth, you actually had to basically stop and heat your stuff before break stuff loose.
Yeah, which I've done with a lot of my Superman and my Batman from the movies. I was like, okay, take it out, heat it up.
Number one tip for anybody collecting figures, you take stuff out. If anything, it seems like it's stuck, stop. Don't force it.
Exactly.
Heat is your friend.
Mm-hmm. Because the oils and the packaging and everything can really harden it up. It'll also. It's just
with NECA too, where they were bad to paint like the mushroom pegs, it seize up.
Mm-hmm.
The paint would actually basically dry up and be like a glue, and you heat that up and just pop those like the bicep whips on Flash Gordon. Bicep was stuck. I just heated it up with a blow dryer, pop that off, run the shoulder peg under some cold water, then pop the bicep back on. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just simple. Take 5 minutes, go through your figure, heat everything up before you start articulating, and get you some plastic safe lubricants, like where you can actually little needle nose, like for RC gears and stuff.
Yeah. And if there's any tension whatsoever, just take a few minutes to heat it up.
Yeah.
Don't go. Well, figure broke because you manhandled it.
Yeah.
Well, it's remember the DCUC stuff. Like a lot of times their hips were stuck, and you pop them in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes to harden up it, because the glue would get in there, and you basically want to pop that hip loose.
Well, I used to put some of my Marvel Selects. I would put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Even a few Marvel Legends, I do the same thing, and put them in the freezer. And usually, if it's paint or glue, it freezes up, and next thing you know, it just snaps. Like it's easy.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh, and you got another Sinestro core Superboy Prime.
Yeah. This was just another idea I had that was just floating around, and I was like, because I've been deathly afraid of painting yellow, which is ironic because I like Sinestro core members. I was like,
I always base coat white before I do yellow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's always it's a learning process, and I really like this kind of vibe of him. So I took a movie Fantastic Four figure, Mr. Fantastic, and just swapped out his legs and arms. The boots are from another TNA wrestler. The gloves are from Punisher. The gloves and arms are Punisher. Yeah. And everything else was just the symbols sculpted, the collars sculpted. The cape was just fabric.
Nice.
Thank you.
What do we got here?
Oh yeah. So this was this was a fun one.
Wrestling figure is the base.
Oh yes, it's Seth Rollins. It's entirely Seth Rollins. Yeah, this guy he's actually an independent wrestler. And Yeah, this was a lot of fun. With this one, a friend of mine, a friend of a friend, is an independent wrestler, Cazador de Alma, and he's really good. You can look him up on YouTube. He had a special like red gear, and his friend, a mutual friend, said, "Hey, can you make this?" I was like, "Yeah, I can make this." And I go, "Oh, how much is it gonna cost?" I'm like, "Well, let's talk price later, but yeah, I can make it."
That's cool.
Luckily, I made a pretty sweet profit off this one. This was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Thank you.
Did you do the background, the diorama piece and everything on this one?
Yeah, this one I did. Yes.
Those serpents look so cool.
Thank you. Those I admit were those were actually sword handles.
Really?
Yes, I bought a set from Bud K, which is like a little site. Thank you, Freddie.
You do blonde, dirty blonde hair. Try green shade as a base coat. Wow. I would have never thought that.
Dude, Freddie says that it's gospel. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is it okay to dunk an entire figure in hot water, or it depends? It depends. Some figures you do the hot water. You can like Marvel Legends. You got like the disc hinge ball joint. Mm-hmm. Some figures are fine. Some of them, the plastic wants to separate a little bit, and it makes them loose.
Yeah. It's 50-50. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Some of them
tightened up
pop right off.
I got the Skull Buster one of the base figures. I'm going to use it for like make a generic like bad guy, and I heat and pop parts off of it with hot water, and it got the neck loose. So I just put a little bit of drop of super glue on each side and just kept working it back and forth, and it filled up the gap.
That actually happened to me with the Masterverse He-Man. I did the water trick, and when I popped his head off, when I started working, no, I'm sorry, I put a different head on him when I tried to pop it off.
He wants to separate the glue.
Yeah. And then but everything that's, the Marvel Legends to an extent, it's going to be, it's like, well, try the water. What I do is I just take a Tupperware, a little cheap Tupperware, put it in the microwave for like 4 minutes, dunk it in there, and just live, it's kind of a weird medieval, torture chamber at this point, but.
Yeah, that skeleton's what, about 7 inches, 8 inches?
Yeah, it was 8 inch. It was 8 inch, yes, because I wanted it to be a larger. Because that's actually for those. Also, another thing I love is Conan. I love the movie Conan the Barbarian, the '82 with Arnold. One of the movies I've seen the most.
Man, I wish some other company besides Super 7 would do the movie Conan figures.
Yes,
they're using those. It's He-Man bucks are fine for He-Man,
not
real people.
No.
Yeah, these are supposed to be, the real drawn out, skinny. It's just a body they have, and they figure they can get away with it, or make it work. They did the same thing with a lot of stuff. And
their quality control is just pure crap. Super 7.
And
their fit and finish are like knockoffs instead of official figures.
Yeah. And their scales of certain things are kind of off a bit too. People, knock McFarlane because one of the reasons I was dead set on getting the Conan series just to have the Conan series. I'm like, okay, it's one of my favorite movies. I'm going to get these. What really did it for me was the weapon scale, because if you look at Conan's sword, it's the Atlantean sword that he takes from the general in the cave or the crypt. Really, it's as big as he is. Yeah, I know. And his father's sword, which is a short sword, is also the same size. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And that's what I'm like, that threw me off. Yes, and I'm kind of afraid to tell you because I don't want to get yelled at, but I'm also working on this is will be the war paint Conan that I'm using. Yeah, probably can't see. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Okay, using the Masterverse. Masterverse for new legs.
Yes, I'm doing Bray Wyatt legs with the Masterverse torso. I felt that it worked without being too, like I said, out of the box. And I'm gonna do something different with the boots. I'm not happy with it, but I have a wonderful gift from Bad Billy. He made girds for all my barbarian figures, so it's gonna be sick. Benny, be quiet. It's gonna be pretty sick.
Your dog barking is getting mine gruffing.
Uh-oh. They see anything. He even hears an animal. He freaks out.
I agree, Johan. It's like NECA should make Conan figures and Highlander.
Oh yeah.
Yes. 100%. I would get them all.
You go back to. We got one more picture left to share.
How much do you think Christopher Lambert's likeness cost? Come on, I can probably take care of that.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I would like to see the series too, like Dunn's figures.
Oh yeah.
To me, Duncan is really more my Highlander than Connor McLeod.
Now he's like, not my Highlander.
I like Connor, the first movie. The rest of the movies are guilty pleasures to watch.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch.
Was the second one? There's 3 cuts of the second movie.
Yeah, I think there was 4 cuts.
Oh, so one take is at the theatrical. I think they were aliens.
Yes.
Then, like the director's cut, they're basically Atlanteans, or advanced civilization on Earth sent into the future.
Yeah, that was the Renegade cut where apparently the producers got their movie jacked from them by the insurance company. So the insurance company went and finished the movie apparently, and that's what we got. They were aliens from the planet Zeist, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. And then I saw the Renegade cut. They were sent from another time, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is better. Better good there.
Oh, we need the Kurgan too.
Yes, and Kurgan.
Sean Connery's likeness could be tricky because his likeness is going to be in a state.
Yes, that would probably I think that would be the one they would probably release last just to see how the line.
Can't wait to see that. By Crom.
I'm working on. I'm going to need some tips eventually.
And
I've had so many. I have more whip figures than I know what to do with. So it's like I'll start one, get halfway. Yeah.
I got a box, like a moving box full of like whips.
Yeah.
I was like, I got bored of this one. I'll put this on the side. And
exactly. I'll be like, I'll finish this one later, or I'll do this one, or
it's like
I'll work on it later.
And I see Cowboy X. Red X.
Yes, that was a character I loved. I always liked that concept of the character, and I'd seen a bunch of figure customizers make him too, and I was like, I'm gonna take my shot at it. This was if memory serves, this was a Moon Knight body. Yeah, it was a Moon Knight that a Marvel Legends Moon Knight I painted. That's a Batman cape. And the head is actually a Zorn that I sculpted over. Zorn, the jacket guy from. Yeah.
Always reuse your fodder.
Always reuse it.
And that original Moon Knight too is on the original Bullseye body, which is a great body.
Yeah.
Yep.
And actually for Red Hood, I used Zorn's body with a Moon Knight head. I'm sorry I keep getting up. My dogs are acting up a lot.
Oh, I understand. I keep watching on mine too over here too. And we was talking about like what whips. This I'll share screen.
I'm gonna turn my light on too, so I can show you what I'm also working on.
Yeah, this is.
I made this little meme here, like a thing everybody has. I'm gonna start a new custom. You have 30 whips. If I have new ideas, finish the ones you started. I already started working on it. Everybody likes that. It's like people like, I feel personally attacked with this.
It's like, I was like, who are they talking to?
But I go, that's an internal struggle for me all the time. It's like,
yeah. And I have a box of like failed parts or something. I go, I'm gonna do something with these. I've made a point now. I'm going to try to take my old fodder and start making generic goons or something other like working. Yeah, there you go.
Bad guys.
Yeah, some of them like I tried painting or I tried doing something with it and I ended up jacking it up. I'm like, yeah, I'll fix this one day. No.
Well, now too, what's good for parts too, you can get those Valverse gears packs. Helmets, guns, black jackets, and stuff like that for like they're like $12.99 or something like that. Or
if that, yeah, the Valverse stuff is, and it's actually really good. It's great. It's great.
He's upgrading his vest too, like the connection point. Like people are having issues, like they're hard to get them to snap together. He's for the next round of them, they're going to be easier to snap.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So they are a struggle. Like basically, like what you need to do is like dip the side with the holes in hot water, let it heat up, and keep the other one hard. Then take a screwdriver underneath and push it in through the hooks.
You know, I'm glad he turned his light on because now he's under the spotlight for the next part of our show.
Now we're on to the Q&A section.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's see. Introducing blah 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 blah. I've lost myself in the. We took a long time going through the customs. Like, how long have you been into customizing?
I've said about probably 2007. So we're looking at 15 years that I've really wanted to do it. Originally, like as a kid, like I said earlier, I'll take this guy and make it okay. This is now this person. My imagination was playing, but there was a lot of. I got out of collecting action figures and reading comic books, in the mid 90s, early 90s. Didn't get back into it, and I started reading, certain trade paperbacks of certain stories. And then I saw a lot of DC Direct figures of the characters I liked. I would see them at places like Suncoast and Sam Goody, all those kind of places, and they're always decently priced. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool because I never really stopped collecting figures because I always collected Star Wars, my entire life, and I started getting back into other lines such as like DC Direct, and there was a couple times where I was like, why can't they make this figure? And my brain just went. Make it yourself. Okay.
Exactly.
You got the Thanos thing. Well, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what kind of kicked it off with the Superboy Prime. I was like, fine, I'll do it myself if you're not going to do it.
Oh, yeah. That's what kicks me off doing a lot of stuff, which also kind of got me out of doing Marvel customs, like unless it's something they're never going to make.
There's a lot of obscure figures that they'll never make.
Apparently, right now, it's pretty safe bet. Just make the UFOs because Hasbro don't seem to know who the UFOs are, even though they're a obscure bad guy team.
Or any other Hulk related character.
That too.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
The UFOs has fought the Avengers. They fought the Fantastic Four. They fought the Hulk. They fought basically everybody in Marvel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they make everybody's top 10 list too. But Hasbro's like, here's another Wolverine. Here's another Cyclops.
Yeah.
Here's another Spider-Man.
Here's another Star-Lord, but his hand goes like this, not like this. Yeah.
You just answered the next question, part of the next question, by saying the reason why you started making customs. So it was going to say what inspired you to make customs. Hey, that's right. When you got that, Darth.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So we were going to ask you what inspired you to start customizing, but you just answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll move on to the other part of the question.
Question number 3. Yes, I enjoy long walks on the beach.
Yeah. No. Was there anyone who inspired you or influenced you to start customizing?
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't say someone in general, but like my friend Bobby, who ran the comic shop, he would he kind of got the ball rolling with it, and it wasn't until a few years later that I had seen a lot of the sites like Figure Realm, and because I just looked up custom action figures, pulled up Google, and there it was. I was like, oh, okay, Figure Realm, or all these other sites. Like there was the Fwoosh, there was later on Toy Soup.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I met a lot of other customizers that are my friends, and it was a really cool time. It was a lot of I'm like, oh, I'm having fun with this, and it was just like my brain would just be going, oh, I want to make this, I can do this, and I was just inspired by so many other customizers there, like you said, like we talked about last week. Jen Saltome, Okay. Kyle Robinson, for better or worse, Kyle Robinson, nothing but respect for his art. Handling of certain things, I could like a little better. Yeah, there was like NTT. There was Mad Tinker. Mad Tinker, always always a kind word, and always a real good person to ask for advice. If I ever had a question on something, I'd message him or post it on the Figure Realm. Hey, what would I do about this? And he would just crank it out. Oh, do this, do this, do this, do this, this. So
that same here, like a lot of people, you had pretty good. It's one thing that was really good about Foosh back in the day. People were willing to help you there more than about anywhere. It's kind of sad that nobody participates as much there anymore with the community. Like everybody moved on to social media, like Facebook, Instagram, and stuff.
Yeah.
When you had everybody in one place, it was like handy. Like you can go, hey, throw up a question, or hey, or like they got that subsection in like on the Foosh where you can request anybody got fodder that I need for a piece, or there's a good trading community like that. It's like, hey, I got this, I need this, and it's like anything I can trade you with. I've done a lot of that there.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of real good trading communities, especially like on a lot of them on Facebook, Instagram. Just like
recently, someone on Instagram hooked me up with a unmasked Ultimate Spider-Man, like the Peter Parker head.
Oh wow!
He had a bunch of them. Like he sent me he sent them late, so he sent me a bunch of extra stuff, and one of them's like the Mephisto from Marvel Select. So I'm gonna make a Mephisto.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, it's like since we're definitely not going to get the not Hell Charger.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Oh, that's a whole other topic.
Yes. Let's see. I'm not paying $350 for a Barbie car.
Yeah.
No. You can pay $50 for a Barbie car. There's all these sites on YouTube. They'll tell you, like Articulated Ninja will tell you.
Yeah. Well, the Bratz car was like for a while $30.
Yeah. Now
it's 38 because everybody's been buying it.
Yeah. Oh crap. We could have been making way more money off this.
LEDs, tail lights, headlights, and the first version of it had a working radio.
Yeah. Like I saw. I mean, all you gotta do is just put a bubble. You can make a bubble top. That's all you need. How hard would it be? Make a roof.
Yeah, it's way overpriced for what it is. And I bought that RC 110, the Batman. It's got light up. It's RC, and you can actually fit figures behind the wheel. It's got a full interior.
Yeah,
and it looks more like a Charger than
it looks closer to a Charger than what they're making.
Yeah,
and it was $110.
That was a great vehicle.
$110, and it's RC.
Yeah,
it was like,
I think Hasbro's idea was that it worked with the hiss, and it'll work with anything. So
the hiss, you can kind of see a little more. It was still pricey, but they made it a little more worth value. Definitely.
Even the first tier was like, oh, okay, all right, I get this. Oh, okay. That's still a little bit pricey.
But the only tier that was kind of iffy was the replacement windshield
and the side classic side blade. I didn't quite get that either. Like that should be a given, but
you got your boat. It funded in 8 hours.
Yeah,
because it was $50 cheaper. It's a bigger vehicle, and it's covered in weapons. It's a troop hauler.
Yeah,
you can put multiple figures in the back of it, and you got a turret for a gunner, which you got for technician for free once it funded.
Technically for free.
Yeah,
and it brings back to life my baby.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the hiss. I never had one as a kid. That's one of the vehicles I didn't have as a kid because I just. I guess my parents figured I
didn't really want to drop that much for one, but even with tax, it's cheaper than the asking price for the Hell Charger.
Oh, yeah. If you really do the math, I mean, the figures themselves, let's say $25 a pop, that brings down $200.
$200 for this tank and all the accessories.
How much do you think it would cost to have those missile racks 3D printed, or the side gull wings or anything like that? You're easily looking at a $500 device right there.
Yep. It is so much more bang for the buck than the charger. What I say charger, if they actually, some of the justifications for the price could have been if it was actually a licensed Dodge Charger. They didn't bother to go to Dodge to get a license.
It's still too much for that.
No, it's still too high. But
like if you're looking at
you could have tried to write off the explanation why it's pricey.
Yeah,
it's a licensed car.
Yeah,
but it's not.
No, but I'm sorry. You can get a licensed
knockoff of a Dodge Charger.
Yeah, you can get a licensed RC car for $120. So there's no way. Yeah. And especially now that we see that there's only 2 other figures as tiers, it's still not worth it.
No.
And neither one's related to Robbie Reyes. Mestizo, you could kind of gray line, fuzzy line there, but
you can
Madeline Pryor, a censored Madeline Pryor.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
That's the one that made everyone say, "No, I'm not going to be backing this because I don't." See
when they announced Madeline Pryor, they lost 100 backers immediately.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with the anniversary of Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
I
could tell you if they made the price $300 and had the same as the his tank and had the tiers be Johnny Blaze, 90s style Johnny Blaze, biker look in his hell cycle,
ponytail.
Yep, with the Hellfire shotgun. Dan Ketch with his bike, Ghost Rider, and Vengeance as the other tiers. Sucker would have backed just as quick as his tank. If it was 300 range. And those were the tiers.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
And the car was actually a Charger.
That too. And give it, like real lights, real sounds. Give it some smoke effect or something.
Yeah, there's no sound effects.
Yeah, but you know what though? Even if it was the same car with those tiers, it would still be hard to turn down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you were gonna get Ketch with his bike, Vengeance with his bike, proper size, and a Johnny Blaze, or even if they don't want to do Johnny Blaze because they, I understand. Yeah, it's a civilian, it's a different look. But like if they wanted to do Carter Slade with the horse,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they've given us Johnny Blaze so many times.
Great final tier that would have really pushed everybody over.
That would have been just do like I said, do like Dom said, do them all. Like they used to do the box sets.
The base and the human form of Robbie should have been included as part of their standard offering.
Yep.
It shouldn't have been like the early bird thing. Now they're just giving you a head and a hoodie to change out.
Oh my God.
But that should never been an early bird. It should be included with the base offering. And there's no sound effects. You should have had like some kind of like vroom, vroom, like sound effects. Kitty Toys had it.
Yeah. $50 Bratz car has them,
Buddy, a $10 Walmart Harley Davidson has it.
Yes.
They should reveal the stretch goals up front like any crowdfunding campaign. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Don't make that like, oh, you got to beat this one to get the like. You got to get people wanting it. Oh, but I want Nick Cage, John Blaze. That I saw 5K Toys had a Ghost Rider. It looked like Nick Cage. It looks good. I think you got one more question, Hulk Smash.
Actually, you do, don't you?
Number 8.
Okay. What other customizers do you like? Do you look forward to seeing their work, like presently?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat it?
I said, what other customizers do you look forward to seeing their work presently?
Oh man, the list is pretty much endless because a lot of them you tend to follow.
No, Darth, it's not.
It ain't gonna fun. A lot of one that I always look forward to seeing a lot of stuff. It's not like Collector Express. I love when he pops stuff on Instagram. Like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, like, oh, this is sick. Hit the heart button.
Make sure you follow Sinestro's Mike.
Yeah.
Not on Instagram. I'm on Facebook at Sinestro's Might Custom Action Figures. It's on the Facebook.
Okay, I need to add that to the description down below. I got your Instagram down below.
Okay. And yeah, so a lot of them, just so many. It's like, especially people I've known for a long time. Like, example, Fast Freddy, Steve Hill. Every time he posts something, I'm like, yes. Let's see here. Let's see. Taz Bell's always really good. He's got a lot of good stuff.
All that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some really great. And just a lot of them, just so many. There's so many that I follow on the various sites. I can't name them all. Like, my brain is just, flowing around. There is one that I don't know if you guys know him or not. He's been in the game for quite some time. This J-Brone up in Canada.
That sounds familiar. I think I know him.
Yeah, he's this Canadian J-Brone. And named Hulk Smash. Hurry up! I'm just repeating what Steve said last time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. When I saw it last week, I go, I'm just gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel the love tonight? Everybody.
Okay, I got your next question.
And go get your freaking shine box.
What do you enjoy most about customizing?
A lot. What I most enjoy, aside from if I'm going to be making something to sell, obviously the financial part of it is nice. But that's really the lowest on my list. If it's that kind of if I make something that I'm going to sell, that somebody like a commission, that I go, this is really cool. I made this. I like it. Someone else is going to like this now. And so it's that I got to a few minutes or a couple hours popping parts together, painting, sculpting. Yeah, that was fun. But this person gets to hopefully cherish it, or at least enjoy it in some way. Yeah, definitely. But the most thing I love about it is just I let your creativity flow. Really, there's so much that I'll be working on a couple things, and that's one of the reasons I have so many whips to go through, because I'll be working on something, then crap, I got to work on this too.
Well, it's kind of like what you touched on too earlier when you was talking about the evil Captain America. Like it's therapeutic. It's
definitely.
It takes your mind off stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And and that leads in. No, it doesn't lead into that one, but I have a second question.
Yeah, we do.
What tools and materials do you use when you customize? And there's sub parts of this too. What kind of paintbrushes, kind of paints, and sculpting material do you like the best?
Sculpting material, definitely, hands down, Abe's epoxy. I love it. I've been using it forever. I've tried to sway away from her and cheat on her, but I couldn't. I've tried. I've used a couple things like DOS and didn't really have the same feel to it. I've tried green stuff.
Which type of Aves do you use? You got Fix It Sculpt, you got the Epoxy Sculpt.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Epoxy Sculpt. Yeah, but I've used Fix It Sculpt, Fix It Sculpt in the past, and I've liked it. I think I get more bang for your buck with the Epoxy Sculpt, because the Fix It comes in just those little tiny jars where I'm at. I
bought like the 3-pound one when I first started, and I started that. I bought that. Yeah.
Yes.
I bought the Fix It's those sizes, and they've lasted forever.
That's a lot of yogurt. I love it. I love using Aves. It's never let me down. Oh well, sometimes when it doesn't quite they do this on purpose.
You think you got it mixed just right.
Thank you.
And it just doesn't set.
Yeah, or when you're almost done and you have about a quarter size ball of one and a silver dollar size ball of the other. I'm like, I know they're doing this on purpose. They're doing some mess with me.
Oh yeah, that there's clearly, even though I bought that 3-pound set of like these Fix It Sculpt, and I got more hardener than I do. I got more clay than I got hardener.
Yeah. Have you guys ever used I gotta careful with my words here because then the jokes will come. Procreate.
It is, to me, I like that. It's good for like sculpting like fine detail because it holds its shape. You can start sculpting on it faster than epoxy sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great for sculpting like the armor details and stuff like that. And but it seems to cure slower than. It stays softer longer, and it's one of those ones too. It's like green stuff. If depending on your ratio, you can actually keep it flexible if you put more clay than the hardener.
Yeah.
But the worst thing I hate about it is getting the stupid plastic off the clay.
Yes, that was the big thing. Do you remember that sword I made you, Don? Ranger sword.
Yeah.
A bulk of that was Procreate that I made, and it was the hardest thing unwrapping the plastic. Yeah, my hands got bruised from the mixture. I was like, oh god.
I wish it came in different type of packaging, like a Aves or like you got tubs.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Even doesn't the green stuff come in that plastic too?
It's like a peel apart strip. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. It's what kind of paints do you like the best? So you kind of touched on that already.
Yeah, well, originally I originally started with Games Workshop, later Citadel, the same kind of a thing. Those ones were always good because they were readily available at a lot of like comic shops and specialty shops in my area. Well, after COVID kind of hit, so a lot of those places had to shut down or stop carrying certain things, and they're still around. But I'm not going to drive half hour from here just to buy a jar of paint.
Don't use that bright white milliput. Stained my fingers white, and it was hard to explain to the wife.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's Paul would have some
I
questions
got
on
some
that one.
the yellow milliput, off white, whatever. I bought it just to try it out because everybody talks about milliput, especially like overseas customizers. They use it a lot, and so I just wanted to try it out. And it's not a fix it or epoxy, so it's not as good.
Leave it to Freddie to come up with a good replies, eh?
Yeah, definitely him. And then
any preferences on brushes or anything, or just like any brush or?
A lot. I'll try to use fine bristle brush. I'm very rough on my brushes with the cleaning, so I can't really justify dropping $20 on two brushes like at a specialty shop.
I end up buying like the cheap like $10 packs off Amazon.
Oh yeah, I'll buy I'll go to Michael's even then because those at least I'll have those for my dry brushing because there's like I said I'm not going to be using a fine detail brush just to bash on a paper towel.
There's really no brands that you look for. It's go to Michael's and see what's on sale. You know what I mean? It's
exactly. Like, I have and plus I got a coupon for that, 40% off.
Yeah.
They put their art supplies on 40% off a lot of times.
Yeah.
I keep old brushes too for dry brushing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of have whatever. A lot of times I'll go through my brushes here in my little Sprite bottle. This is still good. I like this. This is a little. I'm gonna throw this away.
That's actually a cool idea about using an old 2-liter to store your brushes.
Yeah. Actually, I did the same thing with my. I did that also with my tools too. Like I have it's like a candle holder. It was a cardboard candle holder. So I was like, I like it. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, it works. Keeps it. It's good. I try to keep them separate, like the thicker and thinner brushes, but that never happens.
Find helping hands are handy too, like the little clip thing.
Yes.
Clips.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? The Cousins of Matthew. They got the clips. And he put magnets on the bottom of them. So he puts them on a metal strip, so he can just plop, 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 so he can airbrush.
Oh wow!
It's like that's a cool idea. It's like you take the. Where is that? I got one here somewhere. Oh.
I just use clothespins.
He puts magnets on the bottom of the alligator clip and puts one like on a strip of metal, and you just when holding stuff, you can just stick them on there like real easy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
We're ready.
We're ready for number 11.
Yes, we're ready for the fun stuff.
I thought we already having fun.
We have a fun time today.
Okay, so what's your favorite DC character and why?
Okay. Now, when we say favorite DC character, are we talking hero, villain? What are we talking about?
Character.
Okay, so as a blanket statement, and this is going to shock you, Batman. I've been a Batman fan. Oh,
What?
Hey, shut up. The reason why? Because he's a gateway to other characters.
Yeah.
Batman?
Yeah. Dude,
Really?
okay, I grew up with Batman. The first I remember as a kid, and actually this may have been my very first my very first custom was after I saw the 66 movie that was playing on TV one night. I took an old Mego Pocket Heroes Captain America and I took a construction paper cape and just slapped it on there. Yes. That's what I love about Batman, because he's got he's Batman. He's
the
awesome.
whole Bat family and the Rogues are just such great characters. Like Red Hood is just that's one of the first customs I made for Dom. It's like it was Red Hood.
I love the Red Hood. Deathstroke is a awesome character. I don't want to be too cliche and say the Joker, because that's what everyone says. I prefer the Riddler. Yeah, there you go. I prefer the Riddler over the Joker. Yes, heresy. But there's one I did.
Riddler.
What? You act like we never talk.
I honestly did not know that Batman was your favorite DC character. I would have thought.
Well, the reason I said a blanket one. Everyone knows that even then. Lately, of course, I would say Sinestro, because I only have his tattoo on my back.
Yeah.
But lately, I haven't enjoyed reading a Green Lantern book since Jeff Johns left.
Yeah.
Because when Sinestro got his own series, I was like, yes! My tattoo started tingling. I was like, yes! And the book sucked. All it did was one of his underlings would go, Sinestro, we have to go do something about the Green Lanterns. And he would just be like this, yes. The next issue, oh no, the Green Lanterns are here. Yes. And I'm like, all right, this book sucks. Cancel. But I've read Batman comics all my life. I've never really stopped reading Batman comics. So
yeah, you kind of threw a loop in there. That's good. We like to get excited here on the channel.
Wheels within wheels.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, I love his role. Like I said, the Red Hood is one of my all-time favorite characters. When they brought him back, I legit paid money to kill Jason Todd. Yes, Shazam. I was going there too. Another thing, I love the idea of just a kid becoming this powerful thing. I mean, you go.
That's one of the changes I do like they did with the New 52. When he transforms into Shazam, he still acts like Billy.
Yeah. Like he got all sad when they.
We always think it's like changes. It's like they made him start acting like Prime, like because Prime didn't get the wisdom of Solomon like Captain Marvel Shazam does.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It used to be when he transformed into Captain Marvel, he'd act like a superhero. Like he had the wisdom of Solomon, he'd act like an adult.
Mm-hmm. Straight up, Fred McMurray kind of a thing.
In the old live action serials, he murdered every bad guy.
Yes.
So you watch some of those, like, damn.
It's like, whoa, are we supposed to be watching this?
Throw them off bridges and.
Oh yeah. Like Batman would do, like in the 30s, like Batman will straight throw you through a window. You know, he would smack a dame if he had to.
Yeah, the first appearance of Batman, he carried a revolver.
Yeah.
Ready for the next question?
Yes, sir.
Favorite Marvel character and why?
Favorite Marvel character. Okay. Now, are we talking current? Now, I should preface. Are we talking just current, all time? What?
All time.
Okay. Favorite.
All-time favorite. That snake that choked the Hulk out.
Who?
In the Peter David run, he got a bow, like a python around his neck, and it choked him out.
Oh, I thought that was so stupid.
I had to, bro.
Did Peter actually write that issue? Because that was so stupid. It wasn't any kind of super-powered snake. It was. When I read that book, I was like, why didn't the Hulk just go? He could have killed the snake.
There you go.
Hulk just didn't want to hurt the snake. He's an animal lover.
Yes, Dom, I can see your rage boiling, so I'll continue. I'm just breaking your balls.
So, who is your favorite character?
Favorite character of favorite character of Marvel, I would say Captain America.
Captain America.
Why? Because even before the movies or anything came out, I've always liked that idea. It's like, okay, we got to do the right thing, and we're gonna do it. Not saying we're not trying to get political into this. But we're talking about just the person itself, not saying America or anything like that.
Just like the movie, he had heart.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's like the whole premise of like the with the original Civil War in the comics. He didn't want to have to go through government like approval just to save people.
Yeah.
It's like we need to help people now. We can't wait.
Why did he do it? He did it because it was the right thing to do.
Not because I want the press or I want the government to pat me on the head and call me a good boy.
Yeah.
At one time, Captain America was an anonymous character. Like it was a secret identity.
Yeah. As I always felt it kind of should be. I mean, I understand like his coworkers knowing his name, that's fine.
Yeah.
Later on. Well, I've always said, no, I'll die on this hill. Red Brown is my Captain America.
Like when they did the Marvel versus DC crossover, they had
that joke. Just
Batman actually beat Captain America. It's like,
yeah.
And Captain America was even in the fight too. Captain America was getting winded. It's like, Captain America doesn't get tired.
No,
that was obviously written pro DC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was back and forth pro DC and pro Marvel. Marvel kind of cheated with that with the fan vote stuff. Yeah. They picked their most popular characters, not the characters that matched the people they were fighting.
Yeah,
because like they had Storm beat Wonder Woman. It was like,
that was stupid.
So she won because she's an X character because people voted for it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, two, she was flying in the air and shot Wonder Woman with lightning. She's not grounded.
Lightning wouldn't have affected her if she was in the air.
At the same time period, she stopped a nuclear blast by cradling over top of it with her body.
Yeah,
it's like lightning knocked her out when she was not grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the Wolverine beating Lobo.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Hey, how about independent comics?
Independent comics. Oh, that's a really good one.
That's a big broad.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, Ryan.
Oh, very good.
Welcome to the channel.
Welcome to the channel, buddy.
And the
and if you're we're simulcasting on two different channels. We got Collector Express and 1987 Olds Customs. If you're subscribed to one, please subscribe to the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So independent comics.
I don't have Twitch anymore because Twitch, all it gets bots and spammers.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, independent comics are just too many to name. Probably I've always liked. There was so many. I'm reading one right now. It's called The Blue Flame. Giggle, but it's really good. Well written. It's by Vault Comics. Probably one of the first like indie comics I read. Like back in the day, I was the Ninja Turtles. That was that kind of secret. Oh, I shouldn't be reading this Ninja Turtles. I should be reading this Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys kill people. They don't say cowabunga. And the first issue, like Splinter forms a hit squad. And I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But there's just like there's a really good. Just depending on the publisher, of course. Sorry, my wife just got home, so my kids are all happy. And so I've definitely there was one I really liked called The Comet. I would read. This was like during the days of like the early '90s when everybody and their grandmother was a comic book publisher, and everyone made all these different characters. Some worked, some didn't.
Yeah.
Probably the one I least favorite
really cool
independent
stuff,
character.
and some really like I don't know if you
like Valiant Comics and Malibu and all those. I mean, Valiant made some good stuff. Even Malibu had some good stuff. But like my least favorite was the Ferret, which was like their Wolverine knockoff.
I think he's still around, but the owner still owns the character.
No,
he didn't get sold with when Marvel bought Malibu.
Really? Okay, that's news to me. I thought the whole shebang got cut off.
He was never in the Ultraverse. He was like pre-Ultraverse, and that's when they were doing the independently owned character prints.
Yeah.
The Ultraverse didn't come on until like they did the ones that had their joined universe, like Marvel and DC.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Dinosaurs for Hire are still owned by the original creators, and the Ferret and other ones like that.
Next question.
Oh, and
what's your favorite action figure line?
Action figure line? Now, you always get me with those blanket questions. So it's like, now, all time, for, you know.
Make it easier. I guess you can go with like a current action figure line.
Okay, current action figure line that I like. I've always loved, you know, I think the Black Series, I like it because I have some issues with them, but because it's Star Wars. And I love Star Wars. So they've
started limiting articulation, but it actually kind of helps the sculpts on them.
Yeah. Is because I felt that Star Wars itself didn't need like the Toy Biz, you know, articulation, because they didn't need that. They started with 5 points of articulation.
Yeah.
And so they just keep it looking nice and keep it simple. Yeah. Just if you're lucky. You know, maybe an arm bend, you know, and no one could use their left hand.
The bend in the arm by itself is just.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. And no one could hold their guns right. It was always down. Freaking Bone Thugs, but yeah. But a line I really wished could have been done right was the DC Icons. When it
kicked off, they misunderstood what everybody was saying. When it was telling them to go 1/12 scale, they were like, most people collecting nowadays don't understand. Marvel Legends is not a 1/12 scale line.
Yeah.
It's like a 1/11th scale or something like that. It's so when they went true 1/12 scale, they were tiny.
Yeah, they were, and they didn't look nice next to like the DC. They didn't factor with the DC Universe Classics one.
One of the things that worked out great though is the females worked perfect. They made them full 6 inches tall, and they were actually better scaled than the DC Universe Classics females, because the DC Universe Classics females were scaled a little too big.
Yeah.
Everybody was the same height.
Yeah, well, just even male or female, unless it was like a larger design character. But yeah, everyone was straight across the board.
Yeah, it was kind of sad when they like ended it before we got the Jim Balint Catwoman.
Yeah.
She was that wave that canceled Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and Etrigan the Demon. Those all got canceled before.
Sorry, guys, I'm just traveling
with the DC Essentials.
Yeah.
That's like,
and even some of those.
The DC Icons was getting really good there at the end too. They started upscaling them too. They were
which was kind of weird because you had to go buy because they had to release the same character but upscale. So that was kind of
that last Justice League's, was it 7-pack? The Wonder Woman was huge.
Yeah.
She had her head was undersized,
but her body
was like Marvel Legends size or DC Universe Classic size. It was like, but she towered over the rest of the figures in that box set.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
which I think Wonder Woman should, because she should be like a 6 foot, 6'7" or 6'5" at least. You know, she's an Amazon. The term Amazon.
I actually use that body.
She actually lives taller than Superman.
I use that body with a DC Direct head, and it makes a perfect DC my Justice League display for my DCUC mixed display. She's perfect in that.
Yep.
Okay, next question. Nope. You got part A of question 12.
Okay.
Hulk smash.
Is it my question? Sorry.
Hey, the second part of your question, like that favorite line.
Actually,
I can read it for you.
Your question is up now. 13.
Oh, it's like, what's your favorite figure in the line that you like the best?
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I guess I don't have the updated one. Okay.
Okay.
Does the one I have just go straight to 13? But yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite Black Series figure, I would say, because it's more of definitely a sentimental one, was probably either the Darth Maul, because that's just an awesome figure, the original one,
yeah.
or the Imperial Guards, because those guys are just my guys.
You got so much with that Darth Maul too. You could configure it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
I bought 2 just because of that. So.
Yeah, they ended up doing another, but he's shirtless.
Yes.
Okay. Y'all think the page punchers are worth it? They're such small figures. You got little 3-inch figures with no articulation. They're figurines, basically.
Nah, I think it's just kind of a tier at that point.
Yeah. Todd is going to bring back icons. That'd be great, bringing back icons.
I did. Yes, I saw that too. I was like, all right.
I want that. If you give us that last wave with Jim Valent, Catwoman, the Booster Gold, and Blue Beetle 2-pack, and
but are they going to be that scale?
If they're going to be that scale and keep the articulation, that's great.
That's what I'm saying.
If they can keep up the increased size at the end.
Be right back.
Not the little tiny ones. Because that first wave of figures, they were tiny.
Yeah.
They were imports 1/12 scale size.
Oh yeah, that Harley was great though. For the
best Harley Quinn figure they've ever made.
Oh yeah.
I heard. Oh, I came back at the right time. Yes, definitely.
And, that was the benchmark, and that's I remember Sharmus going to like Hasbro's, like taking out Harley Quinn's, like, look, you can do double jointed elbows and bicep swivels on female figures this size.
And
she's hard to do.
She's tiny too.
Yeah. And they could have totally done that years before they started doing it. But it's like, heck yeah, I'm glad he did that. Is the first Red Hood from McFarlane any good? I couldn't
no
say
idea.
It. I don't have a lot of McFarlane figures. I've cherry picked. But some of his figures have odd proportions with like really super long thighs and
real skinny too.
Yeah, sometimes he'll knock one out of the park, and the proportions are just right and look great. Like the Speeding Bullets, Superman, and Batman, the Elseworlds figure, proportions are perfect on it. It's great. I don't know why I can't do that with all of them. It's like, you can do it. You can do it.
I love how easily McFarlane's are to take, even like just how well they mix with other lines.
Oh yeah,
like
you just take the arms and just yank them out. And...
Yeah. This is a top of a McFarlane Red Hood and the bottom of a Fortnite character.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because I'm working on the lone. Yeah, it's a Overwatcher motorcycle guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was like, let me try something here. Yeah, it boiled up really nice. The one thing I will say about some of the McFarlanes, because how they come apart, sometimes maybe it's just me or maybe it's the version I got. I noticed that if you try to put the legs back on, they get a little wobbly. They're not quite as tough, which is I
wish he would incorporate a better thigh swivel. He's got that one he's got is very hindered because basically the butt cheek hits the sculpt inside and limits the articulation. Like I was able to fix it with add a little bit more, but just grinding out some of the material inside, like I did the Escanor figure from Seven Deadly Sins. With my Lord Pumpkins, where he's got that coat tail comes down, it's hidden, so I actually just cut chunks out so the thigh swivel would actually swivel out, so you can actually stick up this way a little bit, make it more stable. Straight all the time. Okay, next question. This is a hard one.
Okay.
Blame Hulk Smash for this. I would have just said your favorite, but what is your top 3 favorite figures?
Action figures?
Yeah, customs.
No.
Oh, customs. Oh, wow.
So if you usually knock off 1, maybe 2, it's that third one that gets you.
Oh, wow. of all time, your favorite customs that you made.
Okay. Let's see.
Come on, Mr. Talkative.
Oh, okay, I see how it is now. Okay, I can take it now.
Yeah, take it.
Well, definitely, I would say one I did that I loved to pieces because it was a kind of labor of love. I would have to say, oh God, I hate you, Dom.
My job
here is... You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'll just go with the ones I'll never, ever, 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 ever part with. My Sinestro core Superboy Prime. That's something I could never part with. My Christopher Reeve Superman. And I would say, because there was definitely a one-off. No,
it's the third one that gets you.
Yeah, because then you gotta go. Oh no! Oh wait a minute! Oh, War Duke, definitely. That's coming with me in the coffin. that was also a very personal one for me to make too. So it was like those three. I don't care how much you offer me; they'll never be sold.
Perfect. Good answer.
And my coworker actually asked to buy War Duke. He goes, "Oh, I think it's so awesome." I was like, "Don't even ask." He goes, "Well, how much would you sell for?" I go, "Boy, I'll slap you in the face right now."
Good answer, buddy. You did it.
Yep. Well, what do you currently have on your workbench or currently working on?
Currently, I am working on. We already saw I'm working on the Conan.
Yep.
Figure. I'm working on several versions of that. I have the Lone Ranger that I'm working on. That the Lone Ranger is done. I'm just finishing up. I noticed his holster was a little off today, so I'm gonna go back and work on that. Also another version of the Black Hand. I'm not gonna show Dom because I don't want to ruin some of the surprises I'm working on. But
because it's coming to me.
Yep, this one is gonna be the male. This is actually me as a manager because I'm not a wrestler anymore. Now I'm his manager. The ice pick, baby. Look at that suit. Look at that fine Italian wool. Currently, I have a lot of.
I recognize that Kane from the Mortal Kombat Joker.
Was that it? I thought it was the Triple H one.
It's very similar. Yeah, it's not triple. It is Triple H one.
Okay, so I was like, oh my god, do I have that? I had that one. Mm-hmm.
Where's the other one?
Currently I have so many like work in progresses. I'm kind of pushing aside. I'm working on several of the ones I'm doing. This is actually one that I'm having a huge blast working on and going back and forth, on the design. There you go. Thanks, Mattel. Is a gladiator figure that.
Oh, nice.
This one, I don't have a name for him yet. He's definitely more a gladiatorial style, but it's kind of like a mix of kind of future and past.
Yeah,
crazy like cyborg legs, but he's kind of like the year 3000.
Cool.
Yeah, those Space Punchers would be close to mass scale.
Yeah, definitely on that side. And this was the gird I was talking about with the gird that Bad Billy's making. Guy does awesome work. Nice. Just can't say enough.
Is it the Savage He-Man base?
The torso is the torso is the Savage He-Man. The legs are the standard He-Man. So there is a big difference. And if what I've noticed also about a lot of Masterverse, a couple different figures when you try to certain ones have different boots. Some of them will have different thigh pegs. Or calf peg, which is kind of interesting. I was like, why do you have to do that?
Yeah, it's like Marvel Legends neck ball pegs. It's like, why are these so many different sizes?
Yeah, same thing. I was like, the arms, everything are the same, but I just didn't understand why do they have to do it that way. But
wrist pegs, arm pegs, and stuff like that all should be standardized.
Yeah,
exactly.
That
Hey,
way
that manager. Sorry, that manager. Where's the other part of that one?
I said I wasn't going to show you. Listen, I'm still working. Let me show you the. Let me just show you. Oh, you're all right. Well, you got freaking Billy Bats over here. All right, there you go. So, I have yes, you have no lower jaw. This is Dom as the reigning, defending world class championship wrestling Federation of America world heavyweight champion. That is copyright trademark. I'll sue.
Need to get you one of these trap box jaws to take the jaw off of the mechanical jaw.
That was a thought. I picked up. He sent me a link, and it's a 3D printed wolf mask, like a lower wolf mask.
Oh, cool.
That I'm working on. It's a hair under scale, but I'll make it work.
Next question, I think Colt Smash has for you.
I do. Okay. Here's a question I'm sure you get a lot when you post customs. Okay. Do you accept commissions?
I do. Currently, I'm not, because I want to kind of just focus on other stuff that I'm working on. Mm-hmm. But I do, if there is someone that wants to reach out to my page on Facebook, there's something that you want or something or you've seen something I've done that you'd like to purchase, definitely. But if it's something that you're looking into, yeah, just I'm definitely not going to be like, no, go away, don't bother me.
Okay, well, your information is going to be in the description
and the little bottom right here.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm putting in
Facebook page.
You want to take your Instagram off?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay.
I ain't pay much attention to that one, so.
Okay, I'll go on with the next question. Well,
got you. I switched it out from Facebook, Instagram to Facebook.
Yep.
Now, are you into any type of hobbies besides customizing action figures?
Yeah. I love to read comics, read books. I just started about a year ago. I've been gradually working through catching up on the Super Sentai series from Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Which for those that don't know, that's what became Power Rangers. They took the Japanese footage and just re-edited and recast out of costume characters. Yeah.
I like the Team 4 Stars. They like the Ginyu Force always do the Super Sentai.
Oh yeah, it's a trip too because you watch it and you go, "Wow, this looks so old." No, it wasn't. It was like 1990. Like I'm watching Jew Ranger, which is what Power Rangers the first Power Rangers series, and it looks like it came out of the 70s, and it's like, no, this came out in 92. I'm like, wow, this looks old.
I was watching. Was it the shows that made us or something? I forget what it was. Stanley tried to bring Super Sentai over before
Sun Vulcan.
Saban.
Yeah.
And nobody would buy it.
Yeah. Well, he tried it. He tried to bring Sun Vulcan or Sun Barukan over here. Saban tried Bioman, and he actually had a trailer that Mark Dacascos in it. I was like, all right, cool.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing. I clicked. Oh, sorry. It's like NECA is doing the Rob Zombie Munsters figures instead of the actual original Munsters.
Oh,
really?
Well, it's Rob Zombie. I don't care.
It's like 31 Nights Fright reveals. And instead of doing the Munsters, what everybody would want, they're doing that really terrible Rob Zombie one.
I didn't even bother watching it.
I'm not either, because everything I've seen of it, it's like, no. It looks like it's more making fun of the Munsters than it is anything.
Yeah, it's not really that's what I've heard too. A lot of the reviews I've heard, without being like spoiler, was it was trying to emulate that style, but not doing it right.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm tired of Sherry Moon Zombie going to be being in all of his movies. I'm sure she's a nice person, but yeah. If he'll remake Jaws and she'll play the shark.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say.
She'll definitely be in the movie.
Oh, no, she will definitely be in the movie.
Oh, Fred said 10 minutes and he couldn't take it anymore.
And
braver than I am. I was like, I couldn't hardly make it to the trailer.
And Freddie and I are we have a lot of love of the same stuff. If he couldn't watch it, I'm definitely not going to watch it.
Like, and I like cheesy horror and stuff like that. It's like Evil Dead was like my bread and butter growing up. It's like
Darth said he's going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I'm in.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Enjoy. I'm actually going to be watching I'm going to watch that Hellraiser probably tomorrow.
Let's see. What's on Hulu?
Yeah. I've heard good things about it.
Number 16, Mr. Hulk Smash.
Number 16. Oh, give me 1 second. Phone falls asleep all the time.
Whoa.
Unlike me, I got my napkin before the show. I'm old. Today was my cousin's birthday, too, so we went to Olive Garden. So we got a lot of carb overload.
Nice.
We already did number 16.
Number 16?
Yeah.
What other types of arts and hobbies you're into besides customizing?
Yeah, he said the Super Sentai.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Oh yeah. What kind? Do you have like any petri dishes show up?
That's in the fridge.
Okay, but that's putting it up to like we're to the wrap up. We want to thank you for coming out and hanging out with us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
This was fun. It's like we're hoping to make this a regular thing of like doing like interviewing other customizers and come on spotlights and
And you know what? I think in this hobby, people should be respected and appreciated for what they do. You know, not a lot of people see everyone else's work. Like
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking about watching Black Adam. It looks good.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
And I like that one too. Like when like Todd McFarlane was like when everybody keeps saying you can't make a character like Mephisto at retail, and he's like, hold my beer. And the big bad has a big like a pentagram carved in his chest, and it's like that's a retail figure.
And that's going to be retail, exactly.
So, yeah, Mephisto just looks like a red vampire. He can be released at retail.
Yeah. Or I think the biggest one was...
Especially their censored version of Goblin Queen. She can be retail.
Yeah, that could be. I love what McFarlane put out when he's talking about the Batmobile, that big, huge, like, that...
It's up for order right now for $50. With the Batman.
As I just, here you go. I'm definitely not trolling you.
He is. Yeah, I love it. He's it's like I love and hate a lot of his figures, but some I love, some I hate. But you can't knock him. He's still doing for $20 a piece. $25 with the Build-A-Figures.
Yep.
And only thing that sucks, Mattel's got that weapons ban, which may be getting lifted now that they've been bought out. Not Mattel, the Warner Brothers. I'm sorry. Because they show that prototype of Mr. Freeze. He's got his freeze gun.
Okay, yeah.
New York Comic-Con.
Well, that could also be kind of like, really? Is that a gun, technically?
Well, they wouldn't let Batman have his grapple gun either.
No, you're right.
So,
yeah.
And they gave Hush 2 knives. Yeah, that made sense.
Oh, when that first hit, it's like they were like, they showed like the Suicide Squad, like everybody had like swords instead of their guns. Like Peacemaker had his swords and what's his Death Shot? What's his?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport had like swords too. It's like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. I love like a couple of them that have the red. Like, going back to the Red Hood, he'll have the 2 holsters that are just covered up.
Yeah.
Like, so he's got two twin pouches on the side of his legs.
Yeah, that's to carry his keys and his gum.
It's like a fanny pack, but better.
Yeah. Well,
somebody keeps messaging me. It's like, turn off my phone. Some chiming. We don't have a guest lineup for next week, so we need to put the fillers out and Or if you're a customizer would like to come up and chat with us, give us a shout out. You can find my Instagram contact down below. Or we'd love to talk to you and spread this community. It's without getting new people into the hobby will die.
Yeah.
And Hasbro is not making it easier on us too with the pinless stuff.
Oh God.
Dom and I, we've talked with the conspiracy theory a long time. It's like, I don't think it's cause aesthetics. They don't want people customizing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's taking money out of their wallet.
Yep.
Which
I don't know if you remember is years and years ago, but they went after customizers on eBay at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were doing cease and desist and having eBay pull people's listings down for selling customs. Like some of the big name guys too.
Yeah.
Yes. Hasbro don't really like customizers. They can say what they will, but us old timers, we remember.
We know.
Peppered Farm remembers.
Oh, Benny.
Okay.
Well, gentlemen, I thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
And if you ever want to come out and hang out with us on a Sunday when we're customizing, come out.
Definitely.
You're always welcome.
Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be going live tomorrow night at 9 every
6
Sunday.
over here. So,
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what time there is?
It'll be 6 o'clock. So I'm on the West Coast. So right now it's what 10:30, about 10:30 over there.
10:16.
10:16. Oh, it just
Yeah.
turned 10:17.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. All right, guys. You have a good night.
When I said it's
You
10:16,
Mm-hmm.
have peace and woo!
Woo! And tell them what's causing all this.
And there's something that didn't get played tonight.
Family.
Ah.
That's what we are.
Family.
Oh, we got 2 more comments before we go. Good
Okay.
shit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another good one. I'll have to catch you on the replay. Oh,
Definitely.
woo!
Woo! 16
All right.
X. Mm-hmm. All right, brother. You have yourself a good night. Thank you
have a
very
good
much.
night,
Good night, guys. Thank you again.
Take care.